Hello and welcome to day 18 of MP Strong 365. It is happy Sunday and we are going to work on a couple of happy overhead squats and a little bit of a quad stretch, a little bit of lengthening, and then get on the floor and tick tock round the clock. So a little bit of strength and mobility, breath work to get into the depths of the hips and the shoulders and kind of open up. And so I'd like you to grab no weight or up to a 10-pound dumbbell probably. So we're going to take a squat position to start and we'll bring the weights up to shoulder height. So if you can't do this, a body bar is actually fine to use as well, or no weight at all. So the traditional way to do an overhead press is just standing with an overhead. So we'll start with just the traditional way. So we'll fully break down this squat and overhead. I just went swimming, so my hair is up in this little semi-wet, cold bun thing. So I'm going to work on, my ability to kind of derive power from when I reach overhead by training into a squat with overhead. So we will start just by alternating overhead presses. And actually, I'm going to now I'll just do them planted on both feet just because we're not here for long. We're breaking down the squat position with an overhead press. And you have to go only where your range of motion will take you, right? So mine is not going to look like the full expression or whatever of a squat with an overhead press. Like I'm not going to look like the emoji. So if you put workout in your iPhone, then it will auto complete with like a dude in a deep squat, like with a barbell over his head. Check it out, try it. But keep watching the video. Just take my word for it. And so I'm not going to look like that. So what I'm going to try not to do is load weight into my knees, so keep weight equally balanced in all parts of the feet, kind of bouncing into the floor. And then now I'm going to work on tucking the elbow that's not pressing overhead down into my ribs. So we're just going to keep up with this overhead press for a few more times, and then we'll take it just to squats. Great. So now just on your squats, and we will allow the arms by the sides. And I'm going to take the weights in between the legs actually. So elevator squat, slide down, pull your belly button to your spine, kind of bounce down into that squat, and then press up and just bring your arms back down by your sides. Great. And you just want to keep your chest broad but not puffed. So broad, meaning you're kind of squeezing your ribs closer to each other. Your chest and collarbone is long. Okay, let's go ahead and squat. So I see a lot of people like trying to get up out of their squat and get tall by like puffing out. You're better served to think about squeezing the arms in by the ribs and pulling your collarbone apart. Good. So we're focusing on that finish through the broad collarbone, through the arms, sort of squeezing by the sides, just to add some tension and involvement with the upper body. Sometimes people wonder what to do with their upper body on a squat. Other times it's just like the thought of a squat is like not appealing. So just think about what your upper body is doing through this easy drop of the hips and press back up. Let's do 3 more times. Weight equally settled in all parts of both feet. Broad collarbone, squeeze the ribs. Great. Just go ahead and kick it out a few times. Knees up to chest. March it out. Just 10. And then we're going to take our weights back up to shoulder level. So roll your wrists a few times, kind of get your grip. Sneaky way to increase the grip strength is hold on to weights for an extended period of time. So grip your weights hard. I'm just kind of rolling onto the balls of my feet, getting myself loose for these overhead squats. So the first thing we're going to do is squat first, then overhead press while in the squat. So let's drop down into your squat. Okay, so from the side, it's kind of dropping down as I fall backwards, dropping your hips back, pulling your belly button in, and peeling your shoulders back so you can pelvic tuck while you're in your squat. So when I'm in my squat, I can now roll my hip bones underneath me. And my struggle is trying to get that natural glute grab into the floor. So if I roll my tailbone under, then sometimes I just flatten out the spine too much without being able to keep a natural curve in the low spine. So just keep doing your pelvic tucks when you're in your squat position, and just imagine you have the lowest part of your back is getting a natural curve as you tuck your tailbone underneath and you peel that very lowest part of the back to an arch. Just do a couple more pelvic tucks, then we'll come out of this squat and we'll start our repetitions. Okay, those are hard. I need to work less hard because I'm tired. But the lower back stabilizer is working into that pelvic tuck and just practicing moving your pelvis around. There's no exact proper way to do a pelvic tuck because everybody starts at a different place. But as long as you're able to literally move your pelvis around, you're like so many steps in the right direction. Okay, so let's come into our squat and we'll press one arm, the other arm, and back up to standing. Squat 2 times each arm. Lean slightly forward and come out of your squat. Squat 3 times each arm. Good. Keep squatted. Keep squatted. Good. And come out of your squat. Now we've got 4 times each arm in your squat position. Let's drop down. Get low in your squat. Good. Rise out of your squat. Great job. So our next step is just going to do some shoulder rolls, reset the posture a little bit, shake it out. And now we're going to bring it all together where you're going to squat and then overhead lift as soon as you can in your squat position. All right. So shake, shake, shake. Get those arms ready. We're going to do 8 repetitions. And so you're going to end looking like the emoji. Bring your weights up at shoulder level. And you can do this with a bar. I'm just doing it with dumbbells because everybody has dumbbells, right? So I have a little bar over there, but you can use dumbbells. Dumbbells are harder. You can use a bar if you have a bar. And so we'll squat down and then overhead press. This is much more core than it's given credit for. So let's drive in the belly, big belly brace. Oh my gosh, that's so hard. Squat, overhead press, squat, overhead press. Good. You got to really power up. Squat, overhead press. Good. It's hardest to do it all at once. So squat first, then overhead press, then try to do it together. Oh my gosh, it's so hard. 2 more times. 1 more time. Good job. Come on out of that position. A squat and an overhead press, which we're going to do now with body weight. Let's go 5. Let's sweep the arms up and drive down into a heavy, deep squat. Usually people's stance is like super, super wide because that is a classic posture assessment. Like, where am I tight? Well, everywhere. An overhead squat where you're trying to assess the client's shoulder, spine, and hip flexibility or mobility all in one exercise. It points out every flaw. Some people cannot even lift their arms up overhead at all while getting into a squat position. So it's a nice thing to train for because now you know where the limbs have to go. So you can try these ways, right? You can try this way and try to get that full expression of the squat with an overhead swing. Tutorial is over. Keep a weight or not, no weight, up to high weight. I mean, really, you can use a very high weight on these. I'm just using something to cue a little bit of tension through the elbow joint and through the shoulder joint. I'm going to use my brick for my finish point. And I'm going to take a knee on the brick. All right. So you can use Bosu. You can use a yoga mat rolled up. You can use a towel. And we're coming into stationary lunges from this position. So I'm going to curl my back toes underneath me as much as possible. And then I'm going to squeeze my back glute and drag the shoulders down in a flat line and then push through the front leg. Squeeze up and down. You're going to be staying on the ball of your back foot. Squeeze the back glute as you come up and try to keep it engaged as you come down. Just applying a glute squeeze just right now, all the time to your back glute, no matter where you are in this exercise. And I'm trying to keep adjusting my toes so that more of the ball of my foot on the back leg is on the floor. You want to go more narrow than you think. I'll do set 2. It's like peekaboo because I disappear at the top. No, not quite. Set 2, I'll go to the side. We'll see how much more flexibility we can get in this stationary lunge. Let's go one more time. Good. And some people are more crooked than others on this. Me too. So that leg that was just in the back, take it to the front. Okay. Put your brick object, even a dumbbell, down on the instep of your front foot. Okay. Warrior 2 stance, sort of a, they call this a extended warrior, I think. So instead of putting my hand on my thigh, I'm going to put a hand on the brick, and the inner thigh gets an immediate stretch. The back leg, you want to keep it as straight as possible. So I lazily sort of arrived in this position. You will often see warrior 2 to extended warrior. So we could do that, but I wanted to teach you how to get into this stretch just by itself with an assist. So you have an object on the inside of the foot. You're reaching your arm up, and take a breath. And as you breathe out, try to create more pressure in the legs and less pressure in that assist hand. One more time. And then 2 breaths. Sweep the top hand all the way underneath you. Give yourself a big hug. Full capture all the way underneath that thigh. And then sweep up to an open chest, long spine. One more time. I found some length available in my legs. I'm going to push out on the elbow with the forward leg. Push out on that leg so that it doesn't fall in. Elbow makes contact with the front leg. One more time. I always say one more time. You always say it's just one more. All right, let's come into an extended triangle. So take your hands on the either side of your front foot. You can spin your back foot to face the front and keep your hand on that assist and just slide in and out of that stretch just a little bit for the hamstring. You can tip up on your foot and ankle, just feeling the different stretch in your calf as well as your hamstring. I'm going to try to flatten out the spine a little bit. And go ahead and come on out of that stretch in whatever way feels delightful to you. So just make sure to brace the abs as you arrive out. Other side, stationary lunges. Take your weights if you elect. Other leg in front. That leg feels like very worked, right? And I'm on like the middle. I'm on like mat purgatory here. It's fine. It's not a big deal. It shouldn't matter. But I have like half a mat, 2 mats. Okay, so that's how bad my balance is. I'm like, if my mats are off, then I will fall. So just curl your back toes underneath you, okay? Rest the arms down by the sides. They're anchoring your hands down. So you're not pulling up your body away from the floor with your shoulders, right? So they're anchoring your hands down. Keep your toes curled underneath you on the back foot. Stamp your weight down into the front foot. Squeeze up on your back glute and then rise up to standing. I'm just going to adjust my foot position, just kind of pump into that back heel a couple times. Then we squeeze up on that back glute and come down and up. Anchor the arms. Squeeze on the weights for strong wrists. Squeeze the back glute again. Really trying to get that back quad to get longer, to squeeze the back glute, and then maybe even pelvic tuck your tailbone underneath you. Really roll that kneecap, scooping the leg up underneath you. This should feel sensational in the quads, squeezing the glute, trying to get another pelvic tuck. One more time. Good. Go ahead and set your weights down. Place your brick, whatever leg was just in the back, put it in the front. Put the brick or the grabber on the instep of your front leg, and we'll come up to that stretch. I'm going to try to remember to make contact elbow to the inside of that front knee so that you can push out on that leg, increase the stretch even more. So oftentimes you stay in yoga poses for a while because you're always making tuning, you're always making adjustments. So the adjustments are pushing more weight into the front leg and the back leg so that you can release pressure from the upper body. This is how you combine. This is yoga. Yoga is the coalescing of flexibility and strength. So I have more weight in my legs, and yet I'm getting more strength more flexible in my legs, right? Because I've already driven, wow, I cannot function right now. We've already driven weight into the legs. So that is pushing down, and we're getting more deep into the stretch. And then we require them to contract while in that more spread position, right? You probably couldn't have gotten here 10 minutes ago. All right, so now we're gonna wrap yourself, wrap your leg, hug that yummy, hard-working leg of yours, and then sweep it up. Sweep it up. Good, one more time. Great job. All right, come on through center. This is turbo. Turbo, turbo. Squat with overhead 8 times, stationary lunge. I'm gonna face to the side, and we can go down to the floor and tick tock. All right. I'm going to take a nice wide stance, channel my inner emoji of weightlifting. All legs. Think about the legs. Only the legs. Only the legs. Shoot those weights up. Legs. Go. Woo! And that mat is slippery. Okay, that was fun. Let's try number 2. Hey, maybe I got a new range of motion. That's on tape forever for the rest of my life. That sucked. Okay, let's go. 2, 1. Those are hard. Okay. I'm going to put down my dumbbells. This mat, that was awesome. Okay. Almost did the splits. Woohoo. All right. I'm channeling a flat spine. Oh, I'm channeling along back. I'm squeezing the back glute, coming up onto my tippy toes, trying to slice the inner thighs together. And it doesn't matter which leg you do because you're going to do the other leg. So let's just come down, stationary lunge, and up. The fingertips are grounded to the floor. If you like, I sometimes do an overhead since my arms are free. It helps create length in the spine. Good. Come down, squeeze that back glute and pelvic tuck. I just screw around with the arms. The legs are what matters. Good. 2 more times. Oh, get it. Last one. All right. I'm going to take a triangle, pyramid, whatever. I need to do that on the other side. Last time, slurring my speech. It's crazy in here. All right. Switch sides. Come through triangle, pyramid. Just get a little stretch going. If you are rounding your spine, keep your belly button pulled up into the spine. And we'll come into our stationary lunge ready position. Okay. So squeeze up on the back glute. High back heel. Slice your inner thighs together. Lengthen out through the spine. And anchor the arms at first just so you keep your shoulders down as you come into your stationary lunge. And up. Good. I'm going to pump the heel on the back foot just to get flexibility at the ankle joint. And then let some of your upper body go free. That will help with your shoulders staying loose and your legs, hips, glutes, lower abs. Nothing above the bottom rib really is doing anything. Try to stick this a little bit more. Scoop, squeeze that back glute. Scoop, squeeze that back glute. One more time. All right, beautiful people. Take it down to the floor. Keep a brick handy. All the way down. Bring one leg up. Bring the other leg up. Stick the brick in between your legs or towel or squishy ball, whatever. Arms out like a V. Okay. Draw your belly button into your spine. Lengthen out the spine by taking your legs away from you and then pulling them back in. Do that 3 more times. And pull them back in 2 more times. Make your legs symmetrical. Toes, heels, knees, hips. Okay, that's why the brick thing is there. Good. If your knees are squeezing like really far into each other, that's okay. Just push your toes away from each other a little bit. All right, let's tip side to side. All the way down. Use your obliques to pull you back up and drag your shoulder blades down into the floor. Pulling the back of the shoulder into the floor. Right shoulder, back of the shoulder, presses down into the floor. Look off to your right so that I don't engage my neck too much. Come up and through. Other side, pull the back of the shoulder into the floor. You can even, I have sometimes people do a goalpost or chest press grip to really dig down into that elbow, shoulder, and pulling the weights across. Now my feet have migrated into touching each other, so I'm going to keep those feet away from each other as you take tock. Good, one more time to each direction. Good. And we finish at the center. Finish at the center. Set your legs down gently to the floor. Press your lower spine into the floor. Take your hands behind the back of your head. Lift the head with the full 8 pounds that it actually weighs. So lift the head and shoulders. Keep the head. Relax, relax. Imagine your head like is literally dead weight, and your throat is just like blah blah blah. Okay, so the 8 pounds of your head is just dead in your hands. This is very hard to do. I'll put my thumbs on the side of my neck to kind of just like let that jaw go. And I'm trying to just get more big pressure in the center of the stomach. Okay, so with our legs down and bent, we're just exploring crunches in this way. So digging in that very lowest part of the spine. And I'm going to try to lead with the head last. Sternum first. One more time. Good. Rest the head and shoulders. Keep the hands behind the back of the head. Pick both legs up and bent at the knee with your object. And we'll drop them halfway down and pick them back up. When you drop them halfway down, keep your toes pointed down and think about exposing your stomach. One mistake I see people make is they drive their knees too far into their chest, or they let their legs drop with gravity doing some more of the work than it should. You should fight gravity on the way down and bring it back up. Try to think about lengthening both sides of the waistline as you let your legs go with control, and then pull them back up with the deepest abs that you can find. 2 more times. Last one. Good. Flip over into a tabletop. We got one little hug, one little tick-tock with the arms. You're going to take your right arm and give yourself a hug. Just give yourself a hug. Try to scratch yourself on the back side of the left ribs. Okay? Just give yourself a hug. Just hold this hug. Hold it tighter, even tighter. Literally crawl your fingers along the outside of your back to squeeze your hug. Now neutralize your head so it faces down, and neutralize your spine so you're kind of coming up away from that tabletop. Keep your hug. Your chest muscles should feel contracted. And then we will sweep that arm artistically up, 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 up. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pull up away from the waistline, away from the hips. Reach up, keeping contact on the floor with your hand, but not a ton. Then sweep the arm underneath, hug, and lift, and hug, and lift. By starting with an exaggerated hold and contraction, when you go into the fluid dynamics, the fluid, I just stated like a different, that's like a physics thing. The fluidity, the dynamic stretching, you will get more range. Good, which means more strength. 2 more times. And 1. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and switch directions between jets. Come down onto your forearms. Do a sphinx. That means you're looking like the lion. Is it a lion? Well, it's a sphinx, but you know, or no, it's like yeah, which is a big cat. I'm talking about the pyramid things or whatever, or the hotel in Las Vegas. I am so dumb brain right now, like I could not be challenged to form a cohesive thought. So in your Sphinx, the only way to remember it is like you literally look like the entrance with the paws on the floor. So your forearms are dug down into the floor. Your elbows are pulling weight back. Like you see, I just drag myself forward like a little worm. You should be able to do that because your elbows are drawn backwards so you're not sunken into your shoulders. Moving around. One more time. And we'll slide out of that. Press yourself up onto your hands. Press yourself up into your tabletop. Give yourself a big old hug, a big old hug. Try to wrap your left fingertips, crawling them on the outside of your right ribs. And I know my hips aren't square, like I'm letting my whole body wrap. So over the course of this squeeze, 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 think about re-squaring your hips so you're twisting the other direction. Squeeze yourself all the way over, all the way over. And now push yourself back into a square position with your tabletop, keeping your arm attached to your back. Squeeze with your fingertips. Hold yourself tight. In 3, we release 2 and 1, and big, slow reach, holy moly, all the way up. You should feel this major in the back part of the shoulder. I'm going to try to drop the other shoulder down away from the ears. And now take it to our movement. We sweep. Oh, golly. Again, I hadn't swam in 2.5 months, so my shoulders are telling me things right now. And this one's like, got tired of doing freestyle, but it was good. You can always go back. No, nix that. You can always move forward. If I haven't swam, move forward, right? One step at a time. One decision at a time. And it all counts. 2 more times. And as we finish with this sequence today, let's come down onto our stomachs again, and we're just going to tick-tock across with the legs. So go onto your tummies, place your forehead on your hands, pick your feet up and bent at the knee, and we're going to let them windshield wiper off side to side. Some people will do this. Actually, I'll show you the scorpion. And my butt is really janky right now. Like, I would be well served to just do some quad stretches because my tailbone is all stuck up in the sky. So the first thing that I would actually have a person do here, client do here, is just pull the hip flexors down into the floor when you're on your stomach with your legs up and bent at the knee. So the tendency is to push your tailbone high and your butt up. Draw that down. Feel the hip flexors pressing against. Great. And then try to move off side to side a little bit. And you might not get very far. I might keep my legs a little bit closer to each other, or just try to move. What we're trying to do is kind of move the femur around the hip joint, that big leg bone. A couple more times here. Good. And then to finish this off, just to enhance the quad stretch a little bit, this is like super annoying to me right now, but I'm just going to handle it. I'm going to go this way. Okay, so to finish this off, press your hip flexors down into the floor. Feel that quad stretch, meaning just by you pushing the hip flexors down. Then pick up your heel, grab your hand to your foot, if at all possible. And I'm just going to hold here for 20 seconds. If you're tempted to do, I should have said this at the beginning, but always do like HIIT, like, or go do cardio on elliptical, or go do like treadmill or whatever, because that's how you want to lose weight if weight loss is your goal. Yes, and you have a short runway before you have a rate of diminishing returns, because muscles are only strong in the range of motion that they have. So if you do cardio, then and you're beating on the same one drum in your whole drum set, then you will find that the benefit will diminish. So by doing these types of workouts where you're increasing range of motion, they are so hard, they are almost impossible at times. You are still burning calories. You are teaching your body that it has more gears, more access points. Then when you go back on the treadmill, and maybe like 4 miles an hour was like inconceivable for you before, you will miraculously be able to do 4 miles an hour just because you have the range of motion. It's accessible. So that's my preach for the night, and I'll see you tomorrow on MLK Day.